Hey guys, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? And I'm here with you today. It's day 2 of RootsTech. And how exciting is this year? It is definitely very different than what we're used to, but it's exciting still the same because we are able to come and still be able to watch all these wonderful, wonderful sessions live online. Oh, yay. Hey, Catherine, thank you for chiming in there. As you guys can say, this looks a little different. So my computer decided to do an update and it's still working on it. So I'm actually had to scramble. And this is actually the first time I've ever done a live through here using my iPad. But thank goodness I have the iPad to do it because I really didn't want to miss anything. So anyway, here we are today. Glad to be here. So I hope you guys are doing well with all of this. Are you overwhelmed yet with all of the choices that you can watch at RootsTech this year? I know I've been a little overwhelmed. It's when I go through the when I sign in and I go through the stream and I look at it and I'm thinking, okay, I want to watch this, this, and this, but then I have a hard time getting through the entire list because there's so many. So I was going to talk with you guys today a little bit about some of my favorite ones I've seen, some of the ones I've put on my playlist I haven't seen yet, but definitely want to watch, and give you a couple tips that I kind of picked up along the way as I was going through to hopefully make your experience, run smooth as well. So, hey, Susan from Oregon. We have Kim here is wonderful. Thank you so much. I know that there are probably, I think, a couple other lives going on about the same time too. It seems to be a popular time. So, but I'm glad you guys are here. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. So what I found is the very first thing is that when I am looking for a session, and somebody had asked me about this yesterday, when I want to find a session, probably the best thing I do, there are a couple ways to do it. I can either use the guide me. So if it's your first time, or maybe perhaps if you're new to genealogy, you might want to click on that guide me section on that homepage of RootsTech, because that's going to give you some great suggestions on where to kind of get started and how to use the site and find the ones that you're interested in finding. The other thing that I found I did is that I would actually just use the search bar on whether I was looking for a particular presenter or just a particular topic. So one of my interests lately has been Irish research, because I have this Irish grandmother here in North Carolina that I cannot figure out where she came from. So as I've been doing her research, so I'm really working very hard to learn about Irish immigrant research here in America, as well as taking it overseas. So I simply just put in Irish genealogy, or I think I actually just used the term Irish, and I found a wonderful series of lectures to put into my playlist that way. I haven't finished watching them all by any stretch of the imagination, but that's pretty much what I do when it's there. If I'm looking for a particular app, maybe if I'm hoping to find that, I know, I think it was Sherry Daniels, and I think I have that right, but she did one on Pinterest. So I was kind of interested in what Pinterest looked like for genealogy these days. So, I typed in that particular app, Pinterest, and that was a really good, she did a really nice job of using that. So I would encourage you to check that particular one out. You can just put Pinterest in the top, because believe it or not, you can do genealogy with Pinterest. Hey, Devin, isn't it good to see you? Glad you could join me. Hey, and we got Rosemary from warm Florida. We're just kind of cloudy today. Oh my gracious, Judy says her playlist has 234 things in it, not counting the series. You'll be busy for the next few days, I'd say. I mean, granted, most of them are about 20 minutes, which is kind of nice because you can move through things pretty quickly with that. So that's a great thing to do. I will say, Judy, you've got more than mine. I'm still building into my series, definitely. But you bring up a good point. Sometimes what I do, I like the fact that they have them in series, and they'll indicate if maybe I did find one recently on Jewish genealogy, because I have been exploring on my husband's side of the family some Jewish genealogy, some Jewish lines. And I like the fact that I can add a series to my playlist as opposed to having to go through find each video and add it individually. I do really like being able to do that as well. Devin says she has a hack to create playlists to watch videos later using YouTube and you're going to be sharing, she's going to be sharing about that. And she put the link in. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. I need to watch that because I need to find out. Hey, Melissa, we've got the archive lady here is in the house as well. She has a session on planning, disaster planning and safeguarding your genealogical records. Thanks for the link on that. We definitely need that one, guys, because we definitely want to save all of our wonderful things that we have preserved. There was another one that I thought was really fascinating too. Let me grab my notes. It is, where is it? It's a practical preservation demonstration. So that's a really good one too. And that's by Sherry Daniels and Julie Kemper. And that I think would be very helpful. I know I put that in my list as well, so that we can make sure we're safeguarding everything and keeping it safe. Oh, we have lots of people popping in here. We have Lily from Mississippi. Hey, Teresa from South Carolina. So we've got folks from all over. Another couple other things that I was looking at that I was really interested in that I put on my playlist. One of them has to do with locality research that Diane Elders is doing, and she does a fabulous job for teaching. And I love to really pop in on anything that she does. So I would encourage you to check out that one as well. And then her daughter, actually, because she works with her daughter, has one on organizing your DNA matches in a diagram. So that would be a really fascinating one to look at as well. So we're glad to have that. Glad to have those in the series as well. And then another one that I found this really fascinating, and this kind of went along with the Jewish genealogy that I've been working on, but it was about how to read a Jewish a tombstone that is in Hebrew. So because there's a tremendous amount of genealogical information you can gain from a tombstone for those of the Jewish faith. And so it was a fascinating when it was done by Nolan. I can't read my writing. I'll put that on there. That he explained how to read it. And then what I wanted to encourage you to do is, even if you don't have, say for instance, Jewish heritage, watch that video, because what it does is it really kind of brought to mind the importance of understanding cultural heritage behind those gravestones. So you find naming patterns. You might find next generation back could be named. You start to understand their culture, and you can gain a lot of clues that you might otherwise miss, regardless of what faith or what culture you're looking at. So it's important. It just drove home to me the fact that we've got to make sure when we're doing cemetery research that regardless, we need to make sure we understand every mark on that tombstone, every symbol that is engraved there, every clue. If it's not in English, if it's not in our native language, we need to make sure we understand what language it's in, and making sure we're getting all the clues from that. Sometimes you need help with that, and that's for sure. So that was kind of my little take on that today for that one. So, and I have to apologize because I'm doing this on my iPad. I can't type in my the links for that. I had those ready to copy and paste, and I'm not able to do that from here, but I will pop those links in here as soon as we are done with this as well. So, and I'm going to put in a shameless plug because I have a video that you guys can add to your list. I actually did once a little different. It's culinary heritage. So it's finding clues to family history and your culinary heritage. And so that's one where I talk about food. I do like food. My daughter actually helped me kind of give me some ideas on that one. And so I pulled that one together, and I think you guys might find that interesting. It's definitely different than what I normally talk on, but it was a lot of fun, and it really kind of spoke to me, and I hope that you guys find it interesting as well. So let's see what else. Go ahead, guys. If you have some that you are really fascinating that you have found you would particularly recommend for folks, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Let me see what some folks have said here. Carolyn out of Glendale, Arizona says she's enjoying RootsTech, and she found her great uncle in Hungary after you watched a few sessions. That is fabulous. That is so wonderful. Absolutely. And that's the thing that we just love about that Roots Tech is it really, and in this particular format, I love it because you can watch these lectures. They're short, and then I can go and take that what they've the information right then to online and apply it to my research. And so it's a really nice way of being able to do that. Don't forget, if you watch some of these and you're applying and you have a success story or you have a question, most of the presenters have chat rooms that you can go in and you can ask questions there. So feel free to do that as well. Catherine said she watched one on using relatives at Roots Tech. That's a good idea because it's that this is a good point. So the relatives at Roots Tech, and that is only available during the conference. And so Catherine focused on that, and that's a great idea. If you are interested in participating in the relatives at Roots Tech, definitely you want to go ahead and kind of concentrate on that because that ends when the conference ends, but you have access to these videos afterwards. So Catherine, thank you for putting that on there. That's very, very helpful about that. So hey, Jenny from Oregon. We have lots of Oregon folks today. Cindy said, oh, you really like the one I did on the culinary heritage. Thank you so much. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that, and I have some more ideas for that kind of thing. Kim said she watched Catherine Schober's SK translations, the German and genealogy translations. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I have that one on my playlist as well. And Cindy loved the introduction to Lithuanian genealogy. Yes, that's another one I have on my list because that's where I track the ancestors back to. And you were able to chat with the presenter and get real-time tips. Absolutely. And that is a really nice feature of this virtual conference this time around. So wonderful, wonderful. So Kim takes all those classes of hers. Oh, that's of Catherine's. That is great to know. I'm not as familiar with her, so I look forward to checking hers out as well. So Lily says she visited the expo hall and found lots of information. I'm enjoying the expo hall. Yeah, definitely. It's different. You have to kind of get used to it, right? Because it is different. So, but it is a nice opportunity to talk directly with vendors there in the chat as well. Has anybody done the MyHeritage Deep Nostalgia feature where they've got it animates like your old family photos yet? That's one of the big things they've announced and had out. I've played with it. I think, guys, I alternately love it and I'm a little creeped out by it. Partly that's just my own experience. As a little girl, I used to play in my grandparents' walk-up attic, and there was one or two photographs of ancestors. And I remember one in particular of my great-grandmother. And I mean, they look kind of stern, in those portraits. And I used to always think they were looking at me and following me around. I know I was a little kid. I had a lot of imaginations and I was in the attic, right? Well, so then I took that portrait and put it through the new MyHeritage nostalgia software. And now she really is looking at me. And it really was like, oh my gosh, it was like my childhood nightmare. And it came to life. It scared the heck out of me. But it is pretty interesting to watch and see. It does give a little thing. It's kind of interesting. Cindy says she's saying that for After Roots Tech. It's a little creepy and a little cool. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing. You kind of go down the rabbit hole. So anyway, I am so glad you guys have all dropped in today. Feel free. I will be putting in links to the things that I talked to when I sign off here, once I get back onto my laptop. Hopefully, I think it's finally finished updating. And I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow as well. Same time. So 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll do another Facebook, YouTube Live, and we can chat a little bit more about Roots Tech and things that you are finding exciting there. So have an enjoyable day, guys. I hope you really have a good time, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.